Hey guys, and welcome back to Amateur Sports TV. I'm Mahith Gamage. This is our soccer show. I'm joined by Carlo Bruneau, who is the Executive Director of the Winnipeg Youth Soccer Association. Carlo, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
So, we're coming close to the summer, but we obviously have soccer going around all throughout the year, indoor, outdoor. We live in a very cold place, so half of it's indoor, half of it's outdoor. What's kind of been going on these last couple months in terms of Youth Soccer Association?
Yeah, obviously we've had a great indoor season here. We've got these tremendous facilities that help make sure that we're able to play the game year-round. Recently, we just wrapped up our 2020 Golden Boy tournament. We had 176 total teams in the tournament. We had 50 of them come from out of town. We had over 300 games over the 5 days that we played, over 96 referees participating and 30 divisions. And over 1 million memories made. So it was a really good tournament for us. We were really happy with the organization and of course, the competition level with 50 out-of-town teams almost representing a third of the entire field of teams is tremendous, and it's a watermark for us as well, the highest we've ever had come from out of town. And they were very thankful and very happy with the level of competition that we're able to provide them as well, and lots of positive feedback on that front. We've also just wrapped up our indoor high school soccer league just about a week and a half ago. So that season runs from October to the beginning of March. We had some tremendous competition in that division as well. We had 39 teams across the two male and female divisions, 20 boys, 20 girls, and we separate them into two different types of divisions: a premiership, the top flight, and a championship division. And we do a little shuffle midway through the season to promote some teams and relegate some teams to kind of level some of the playing field to make sure the competition level is good for everyone for the remainder of the season. And so the first half of the season is considered our league season. So I'll just shout out our Premiership boys, St. Paul's High School, who won the league title on that side, and Vincent Massey on the girls on the Premiership. And then on the championship, we had Steinbach from the boys' side and Kelvin from the girls' side. So they captured the league titles. And then, as I said, we wrapped up the playoff portion just about a week ago. And congratulations to FRC, who won 1-0 against Steinbach in the Premiership final on the boys' side. And on the girls' side, we had Oak Park take it against Vincent Massey 2-1, and I think that was 3 in a row for Oak Park. So kudos to them. Very strong program and a very big program. They have 2 teams, so kudos to them as well. And then on the championship side, we had Sturgeon Heights Collegiate take it 3-1 over Calvin on the boys' championship side, and then on the girls' championship side, we had St. Mary's Academy take it 3-1 over Murdoch McKay.
Awesome. I'm an FRC alumni. That's why I did a little fist bump there when we shouted out. Yeah. It was great to see them doing well, and of course all the other schools as well. So yeah, you just talked about what has just happened, but obviously you're a busy guy. You got lots of events throughout the whole year. So what's kind of coming up over the next couple months before the summer, really?
Yeah. So now that we've wrapped up indoor high school, we're solely focused on our league play. Our recreational and premier divisions have their playoffs kind of culminating this weekend and next weekend. So we've got, I think it's 14 semifinals this weekend on Saturday and Sunday at these beautiful facilities here. And of course, the winners of those semifinals will advance to play on March 21st at the WSF North facility for the championship in each of their respective divisions.
And going into the summer, I mean, again, very busy time of year, but is there anything planned for those months that maybe is new or something you guys are really, really excited about or pushing for?
Yeah, of course. The summer calendar is already pretty full with a lot of the planning that we do in the background leading up. Of course, we've been working on our outdoor season since before the new year even. But now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of things and finalizing facilities and teams and registration. So our team registrations are due at the end of the month here, and then we'll start formulating our schedules, our divisions, and making sure that we have good competition. We've got our one of our marquee tournaments in the summer is our Boston Pizza Players Tournament, which we'll be running this year from June 3rd to June 7th. We'll open registration for that on April 26th, and that'll just be from our website, winnipegyouthsoccer.com. Last year we had 175 teams and 28 divisions, and we fill up, just as we do for our Golden Boy tournament, we fill up within 4 hours of registration opening up. So don't hesitate, get your spot. It's a very popular tournament, and the great thing about that tournament, in fact, is that it is called the Players Tournament. Of course, we're so lucky to have Boston Pizza as the title sponsor, but it's called the Players Tournament because it raises money for the players in our league who need some financial assistance to access the sport. And so we've branded it for the last 5 years with Boston Pizza. And over those last 5 years, we've raised $50,000 that have been reinvested into our players, into our community to help make the sport more accessible. So very proud about that. And we'll be kicking off our season on May 1st, right around the Valor first home match against Atletico Ottawa on May 2nd, and really a kickoff of summer soccer for us, and it's going to be an exciting summer of soccer for us, of course.
And big news lately, the last few weeks, kind of something that everybody's been looking out for and hoping for. The boundaries have been removed in terms of player registration and everything like that. What does this mean moving forward? And can you just explain a little bit what that, just means in general?
For sure. Well, so I think what needs to be understood is that this decision is being made for what's in the best interest of our players. It's about inclusion, accessibility, and openness, and standards, quite frankly. Manitoba Soccer, Canada Soccer have been working over the last number of years to develop and implement a standards-based program across the country. So there's going to be 4 levels of standards. There's going to be a national youth license. There's going to be 2 provincial licenses and a local standards for quality soccer license. Having those standards means that membership has to meet a certain criteria, and which results in a certain level of confidence in those providers in soccer programming, sanctioned soccer programming. Part of that and the theme of those standards are inclusion, accessibility, and openness. So those themes resonate to everyone within the sport who is under the sanctioned umbrella of these governing associations, and WISA is no different. WISA should be about inclusion and accessibility and openness. And if those are our mantras, the membership should be made up of those mantras. We have, for the first time ever, Manitoba Soccer approving or accepting member academies. It's groundbreaking for them to do so. And you know what? To their credit, they're meeting these standards and they're applying and they're receiving their sanctioning. So in our minds, again, with those themes in place and the governing structures putting an emphasis on those themes and, of course, the standards themselves, it was time for WISA to adapt, and it was time for WISA to embrace those themes and find a way to make our competition accessible to anyone who meets those standards and provide the best experience for our players as possible.
But it doesn't stop there, right? I mean, everything is going to keep evolving as we move forward as a soccer country, hopefully, is that we can call ourselves that in the future. Now we got a pro league and university soccer is doing well, not in this province, of course, but everywhere else. And we've got, now the USL League 2 has a stronger team now with good ownership. I mean, does that make things different for you as in your job, controlling all the youth soccer? Because those are the players that are going to be looking to reach that level and actually having a place for them to aim for. Does that make your job any different, or maybe a little bit more pressure on you to find them a way to get there?
Well, I don't know if there's more pressure, but certainly there's more of an emphasis to make sure that we're providing an environment and a culture for our players that now have these newfound pathways to develop their skills and to play at a level that they think that they can play at. And so that's really what this is about. It's about the player. It's about the best interests of the player. Run a quality program, and you will have players, and we will have good competition. Now you factor into the matrix of Valor FC and FC Manitoba and U Sports. Those are all like pathways that are relatively new, and of course then that instills a bit of confidence in our community that there is somewhere to go after WISA. And it's our job, for one. Obviously, we want, right now we're a recreational league and a developmental and a Premier League. We want to provide opportunities for whatever level of soccer you want to play at. And it is incumbent on us to make sure that if you want to get to the youth sports level, or you want to play for Valor, or higher aspirations, if you will, that we can provide a bit of a platform to get you there. And there's no doubt that our community is committed to that and will do whatever they can to make sure that there is good competition and invest in our community. As you talk about the ownership for FC Manitoba, these are folks that have been invested in soccer for a number of years, for longer than I've been around. And so we have a great community. It's, we need to work together. We need to work cooperatively for the betterment of the players here in Manitoba. And with having Valor FC, having FC Manitoba, having them in the spotlight, having them in the news, on the airways of the radio, that's good for soccer. That's good for the exposure of the sport, and it's good for WISA, because it lets people know that soccer is a choice sport. And now we're building this framework to be able to say, hey, you can go beyond just playing at the U17 level. And we need to do a better job at providing opportunities for our females. There's no doubt about that. And we will. That is something that we have to do better at. And I think there is a commitment from Valor FC to do so. And I wouldn't doubt that at some point that there's another PDL or another party who might be interested in promoting the women's game to that level, and certainly there's a part for WISA to play in that as well. It's just figuring out that matrix and making sure that we can make it work. So, yeah.
You spoke about cooperation, and that's something that I've noticed a lot of lately. And I'm not an old dog in this environment. MSA, all this Manitoba soccer stuff is pretty new to me. When I was younger, I played, but not at a high level, and I was never really involved until the last couple of years, and I've gotten the opportunity to be involved. And what everybody's been saying to me is, things are so disjointed in the past. People wanted different things. Everyone's looking in different directions and not working together. But lately, it's been everybody is focusing on the player, and people are starting to shift towards, away from maybe the selfish side, or because sometimes that's unavoidable, right? And some people don't have the best interests in what they do. But now everybody I talk to is saying, well, it has to be about the player, it has to be about the player. And have you noticed any differences in that sort of aspect over the last few years?
Well, I definitely can say 2 years ago, Jason DeVos came here, and he wrote that on the whiteboard for every one of our club members, Manitoba Soccer Association, those 7 magic words. It's all about the player. And, it takes time for culture to change. Jason DeVos at one point was a major critic of Canada soccer, and now he's playing for that team. So, and that's fantastic. That's good for Canada soccer. That's good for Jason. And that's good for our provincial and municipal associations as well. But that culture, yeah, it takes time. It takes time in any organization to change a culture, to influence a culture, if you will. And it's so much easier for people to just innately, human nature, to find the wrong in things, as opposed to looking at what's good and even having a can-do attitude. Will open boundaries present issues? Undoubtedly. there was issues with the previous structure as well. Undoubtedly, there's going to be challenges, but with the right attitude, with the right effort, anything is insurmountable. Is we can get over it. So as you talk about cooperation, for sure, I think, our board coming together with the district clubs and making this historic decision, overwhelmingly supporting the decision to remove the player registration boundaries is certainly a step in the right direction of where we need to go, in cooperation with each other. And I certainly believe that mindset, that culture is now, it's infiltrated the boardrooms that are making decisions that will influence what's in the best interest of the player. And so, we need to always be reminded of that. You can't be reminded enough about why are we here. We're here for the kids on the field and for the beautiful game. I'm not here to promote my specific program or my entity or what's best for Carlo. I'm here for what's best for the kids. And sometimes that's going to be contrary to what's good for me, and sometimes it's going to be work for me. Either way, it shouldn't matter. And your decision-making driver is what is in the best interest of the player. And we hope, obviously, as we have we had obviously some positive reaction to the removal of boundaries and positivity around our board regarding that. And hopefully that momentum keeps people moving forward in a positive manner, in a cooperating manner, and look at it as, we can still accomplish a lot more. There's still a lot to do. We have work to do. There's no doubt about it. But again, it's about attitude and effort in life. And really, at the end of the day, you want to boil life down. That's what it comes down to. I'm nothing special, but I work my butt off and have a good attitude, and that's all you can do. And we did some really good things recently, so we're really proud of that. Our tournaments, our leagues, and our upcoming outdoor season. Yeah, certainly.
All right, Carlo, it was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks for having me very much. Hope to be back sometime soon.
All right, guys, this is Carlo Bruneau, who is the executive director, once again, of Winnipeg Youth Soccer Association. This was ASTV's Soccer Show. I'm Mahith Gamage. Thank you guys for tuning in.